like
in the benches. Just leave this with me right now. Recommend like
this is what I buy from. And the other day, it reminded me of the movie. I can get spoke from the second floor.
Yeah, everyone was like,
That's why like, I started like half the messages in the chat where she had. Like, everybody was listening to her when she was gone. It was hilarious. That I was like we just think it's the second one, like, she takes the questions and shit. So she's like, hey, I have a question. And everyone says,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome FIU Athletics led by Scott Yagodzinski.
All right, thanks, Uber. We have about a 20 minutes presentation prepared today, leading up till 3:30. Cheerleaders, Dazzlers are in position. We're going to start with an FIU football intro video that we're going to show, and then we'll lead into a couple of important points. And then we have a guest speaker here today as well. All right, let's do the video.
like.
Pause for dramatic effect. There it comes. All right.
FIU, F-F-I-U, FIU. Woo!
Hang on, let me see if this wireless mic works. Hello? Hello? Oh, very good. All right. Okay. So my name is Scott. I work in the marketing department with FIU Athletics. We have our FIU Dazzlers here, our FIU cheerleaders here. Already came out of the jungle to make an appearance. I just want to real quick thank Umer and Ari and the whole FIU Honors College staff for having us out here at the convocation today. We were also out here Wednesday. We started I think it's been about 4 or 5 years now, at least, where we've had a good partnership with the Honors College, and we're very thankful to have that partnership where we come out to the convocation. You guys have a couple group nights where you come out to some of our games, and it kind of works two ways. I know Umer has a tailgate at the homecoming game, and he always invites our staff to go over and get hot dogs there. That's one of our favorite football games of the year, just for that fact. We send our interns and staff over there, so that's coming up only in a couple weeks. But essentially, the partnership, I think, is really cool because, kind of like the event today, it brings all of you guys together at an FIU game, and you guys can really show your Panther pride. We've done one for football. Every season we do one game. This year's date is October 20th. That's the week after homecoming. That's at 7:30. It's a night game. So that's a little less than a month away, about 3 or 4 weeks away. And then last year we started our very first men's basketball group night with the Honors College. And our basketball arena, it's a smaller arena, and I think you guys brought out a couple hundred people, and it was packed that day. It was a great atmosphere in the gym. We had a big win that day, and I think, I know from talking to the players and the coaches that makes a huge difference when they play. And there was a really cool story that came from that men's basketball group night last year that I shared with the group on Wednesday, and I wanted to share with you guys as well. And actually I shared this with a bunch of student groups that I talked with, kind of using you guys as an example. There was a girl in the Honors College who was an online-only student, and she actually lived in Orlando. And she got word about this Honors College group night, and she said, hey, this could be a really cool idea for me to come down to Miami. She had never been to the campus at all, or even seen, the school that she's in the Honors College at, and she's working towards her degree at. And she came down to the game. That was her first time on campus, and I know Umer hooked her up with a courtside seat, I think. And I talked to her after the event, and she had an amazing time, I know, just seeing her fellow classmates. I think she went to the bookstore and bought some FIU gear and was sitting with the FIU gear there in the front row. And I thought that was a really cool story because she would not have done that if it wasn't for the Honors College night. I mean, I don't think she was particularly a FIU basketball fan or followed the team or knew everyone's stats or who were playing. But she just knew that there was an Honors College group night that night, and she came out there. And that's just one of the stories that I share with a bunch of our groups, just kind of showing that this partnership is more than just, the game itself or the Honors College itself. It's kind of bringing everybody together to really share in that Panther pride and that school pride. And I share that story with that we speak to some schools like the foreign exchange students and the international students. We're starting to work with the FIU Online, with their department, and we kind of use you guys as the example of, hey, this is what we do with the Honors College. We have, a group night for football, for men's basketball. I know talking with Umer, we're kind of planning out maybe some other games. We have a ton of sports at FIU, whether it's volleyball, soccer, baseball, softball. We have a beach volleyball team that's kind of unique to warm weather climate schools. And we use you guys as that example, hey, this is what the Honors College does. They bring out a few hundred people to our games, and I know that it's a great experience for them. Umer has the tailgate at certain games, and we use you guys as that example. So I just want to say thank you to the Honors College, and I know you guys, I think most of you guys are new Honors College students, just kind of buying into that tradition that we've had now for 4 or 5 years. I think that's a really cool thing that we do. We have a guest speaker today. We have Camilo. He's our volleyball coach. We're going to bring him up here in a second. Hang on, Camilo. I might have been premature with my intro, Camilo, because we have another video that we'll play. Not quite yet, though. I do want to say a couple quick things about Camilo and the volleyball team before I hand it over to him. Camilo, they have a home game tonight, actually, against FAU, and we like to bring some guest speakers out to the convocation when we do this each year. We had our head basketball coach out on Wednesday, our head soccer coach, and I'm really thankful that Camilo came out here, especially considering that there's a game tonight, and it's a big game against FAU. And that's kind of our main rival. I mean, we have UM right here, but FAU is in our conference. They're right up in Boca Raton. We're only separated by 1 letter. So that's always a big game. We play them in all of our sports. And they're coming down here tonight. And we're going to do a giveaway and stuff. Camilo he'll talk more about that. But all right, without further ado, similar to the football video, well, we did a nice volleyball video that we played this at the beginning of every game, and then after the video, we'll hand it over to Camilo.
The assistant with women's volleyball, as Scott just mentioned, gave you guys a little bit about us. The lesser part of why I'm here is to tell you about us. We are 9-5 right now. It's been a big turnaround year for us. The last couple of years, we've kind of been through some highs and lows. Hurricane Irma included, that kind of put a hold on our right now, we're competing, we're 2-0 in conference. Looking to be at the top of the conference with a win tonight. FIU is a big rival, it always will be. Big for recruiting, big, I think, for the school. These guys put on a great production and show, and I wear this hat so you guys see what you can get for the first 50 that come to our game and ideally stay in support. Not only get a free hat, but this is a very prideful time for me because I can guarantee we're going to put on a show. I'm born and raised here. I applied to FIU, got in, I chose to go play volleyball because at the time, and I'm not knocking the program, but how far we've come, it was a lot easier before. FIU was the bailout option. Well, you know what, let me see what I got and then I'll go to FIU. I got into the honors program. So I take pride now because you guys make me look better. What it's become now, I don't know if I would have got it. On our roster, a couple of girls you saw on there are in the FIU honors program. The reason we've turned around is because of the quality of people we've been able to bring in, which is because of the standard you guys set. So now that it is more difficult to come in, the standard's higher, the expectation's higher, now we have to worry less about the quality of kid that comes in because someone who can get into FIU now is a much different person than the person that was getting into FIU that Graham was getting, and I won't put the years out there. But we even have a kid on our roster now who had options to go play at other schools, chose to stay here because of the honors program, and I had no idea my first year coming in. I recruited her at other schools, and because she stayed here for the honors program, we had a couple injuries in the spring, and we're looking for athletes, and I was able to recruit her and get her on the team now because she stayed here for the honors program. So again, I can't stress enough the support you guys give us, and let us use the example. Our team was 3.5 GPA as a team, which is really tough with 20 plus kids. So again, thank you guys, and we would love to have as much support as possible because our kids are the ones that follow your examples. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Alrighty, thanks for coming up. All right. As he said, tonight we do a few giveaways at for all of our sports tonight. The first 50 students that come to the volleyball game are going to get that free camo hat. And all of our games are free for all students. I think I have a few more messages I wanted to say. Let me gather what I was going to say. And then we do have a fun little thing at the end. We're going to do a t-shirt toss. The cheerleaders are going to do another chant. I think we have one more video. Sometimes I forget how many videos we crank out during the school year. But what's cool is with the videos, some of these videos are done by FIU grads or FIU students. We have a men's basketball highlight video that's done by a staff member of ours right now that's in grad school. And then I know a couple years ago, I think someone in the honors college prepared a video for us. Umer's nodding, said he remembers. I think it was 2 years ago. There was a group of guys that came out to football practice and filmed a video like promoting the honors college night. And that was a really cool thing. I have to see if I still have that video. We can send that back to you, Umer, as like an example for future years. So again, key dates, October 20th is the group night for Honors College at FIU football. You'll see the cheerleaders out there running around and doing backflips and the dazzlers dancing and dazzling, and us, we'll be out throwing t-shirts and just trying to entertain people as much as we can at these games. I feel like I was going to say something else. Thanks, Scott. Homecoming is October 13th. That's Umer's hot dog tailgate game. And then the men's basketball group night will probably be, I think we had it last year in February, probably somewhere in January or February. All right, so I think let's play the basketball highlight video. It's about a minute and a half, and then the cheerleaders are going to lead us into a chant, which will lead us into the t-shirt toss. We're all going to make some noise, and then I think that's it. I think we said we'd be done at 3:30. Oh, that's going to time out perfectly, I think. We have 7 minutes. All right, let's do this video, and then we'll go from there. Some of these shots are probably from the Honors College game last year. As you can see the crowd shots in the back. Over, I think I see you in the stands. Yeah. Maybe? Courtside?
Here's Brian Beard. 4 seconds. Beard hoists it up. Yes! Ties the game! basketball.
I was actually announcing that game. That was a fun game.
Some space for the win.
Okay, I lied. I have one more point I was going to make. Wait, applause. That's all we're doing. That's quite a self-plug, making you guys applause for the video. Camilo had another point that I forgot. One of the girls on the volleyball team is in the Honors College, actually sings the anthem at their home games. It's kind of an interesting nugget, a good fun fact. We can't end the day without a good fun fact. All right, I think Gio is going to take the mic now. We're going to lead a chant. Gio, we talked about this. You're taking the mic. We're going to lead an FIU chant, which is going to lead into our teacher toss, and then we're done. All right, Gio, here you go.
Woo. Hello. I'm Gio. I'm one of the cheerleaders, and this is a chant that not only will get you an awesome t-shirt, but it's also a chant that we do at every game. So when you come out to the games, because you are coming out to the games, then you will know at least one chant out of like a zillion million that we do. Okay, so you heard us do the FIU chant when we walked out. It was the F-F-I-I-U-U. FIU. Okay, so with that being said, there's 3 really perfect sections to do each letter. So we're going to do the chant, and whatever section does their letter the loudest will get the most t-shirts in our t-shirt toss. So, if everybody knows that we read from left to right, you guys will be F, you guys will be I, and you guys will be U. Okay, so it goes twice. It goes F, F, I, U, and then they're going to say FIU, because that's not fair. So, F, F, I, U, FIU, okay? Now, I don't want to mess this up for any of you guys to lose your chance at this awesome t-shirt. So, we're going to do a little practice round. Staff in here, don't think that just because you're dressed up really nice, you don't have to do this, okay? So, you guys are F, you guys are U, and you guys are I. So, practice round. 3, 2, 1. F, F, I, U, FIU. Okay, so we, youth section's really turning up over there.
Let's do one more on the teacher toss. What do you think? I'm getting more prepared. Okay,
So
very good.
with that being the practice round, here we go. Into the t-shirt toss for the real deal, your one shot. Ready? And 3, 2, 1.
Everybody get on your feet! We're gonna make some noise for our teacher! Get up! We still have any left? Keep making noise! We're out! We're out! We're out! Is that it? Okay. Hang on. Uber, I said we'd go to 3:30. It's 3:28.
More shirts.
Questions? Let's have them. Who has a question? We ran out. Come to the football games and basketball games. We throw them out every game. The t-shirts we throw for football have a nice burger on them. Seriously.
So who's coming to the
help.
game
I'm sorry, I should have said
tomorrow?
that.
Who's coming to the game tomorrow? Don't lie. I'm looking for you now. From the sidelines, I'm looking for you. So you better be there tomorrow. Do your tailgate, do your thing, and then do yourself at the game.
Thank you guys. Everybody have a good day. All right. Rory, lead them off.
Engaging. Adventurous.
Exciting.
Community.
Inquisitive.
Opportunities.
Diverse.
Giving.
Excellence.
Knowledge.
Unique. Possibilities. Innovative.
Home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Master of Ceremony and Assistant Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Arlene Garcia.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be the Master of Ceremony for this very important occasion where we celebrate you, the student. Today we have the privilege of recognizing some of our top students and welcoming the new additions to the Honors College. The 19th convocation of the Honors College is now officially declared open. And we're going to go ahead and start this amazing convocation with our very own Heartbeat, led by Gladys Levy under the faculty mentorship of Professor Janet McDaniel. Please stand and join them in singing the national anthem and remain standing for the FIU alma mater.
So the Honors College
college through like classes and the staff and the people involved. They really help to incubate a lot of innovation that happens with students and with projects and people. And they really brought me a really great thing, bringing me to the lab, and it's helped me to help grow the lab and things like that. So the Edge Lab is a small maker space. We're affiliated with the Honors College, and what we do is that we help to bring projects to life, whether they're from a napkin or even just an idea in someone's head. We want to bring them to real life, either in prototype form or maybe the final product. Well, we're here for obviously any kind of project, any kind of student, anyone who wants to make something, and that's what we're here for.
Thank you, Heartbeats, for a wonderful performance and leading us in the national anthem as well as the FIU alma mater. I hope that you will all learn our university song and make it part of your tradition. And now, let me introduce you to the Dean of the Honors College. Dean Espinosa is a political scientist with degrees from the University of Miami and Florida State. His main research interests include the arts and political expression, culture, and collective identity. He has taught Honors College courses at every level. He serves on numerous university-wide committees, including Ashoka Changemaker, the University-wide Scholarship Committee, Cuban Research Institute, and more. Dean Espinosa was inducted into the Order of the Torch and Phi Beta Kappa. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Juan Carlos Espinosa.
Thank you, Arlene. Please give another round of applause for our new Assistant Dean, Arlene Garcia. You are the best and brightest at FIU. You are part of an honors college, of a class that has the highest GPA, the highest SATs, the highest ACTs, who come from state colleges, from Miami-Dade College, Broward College, Hillsborough, Valencia. Some of you are FIU students who've decided to join the Honors College. Well, you are part of a very special group. Now, I mentioned all of these accolades, right? With the GPAs and the fact that you all come from almost every single major we have here at FIU, that every college and school of FIU is represented in the student body and in this group that we have with us this afternoon, all of you. But there's something about you that's different. Not only did you choose FIU, you chose to join the Honors College. And when you choose the Honors College, well, it means more than you did it because you want priority registration. Those are the FIU people giggling. I know that's what you're all thinking, but it's a lot more than that. Being in the Honors College is being part of a community. And those of you who are joining now have an opportunity to go beyond where you are now in where you are at FIU. Because, well, let me tell you a little bit about sort of the ethos of what Honors College is. If I could actually boil down what honors is into one word, the word is interdisciplinarity. And in the Honors College, it's not just a long word that begins with an I and ends with a Y. It is who we are. It is the fact that we realize that everything is connected to everything else. And that life is not a major. I realize that sometimes there's this pressure pulling and pushing back and forth between you being told that it's all about the major and you've got to have a certain number of credits and you have to graduate in a certain amount of time. Well, I agree with most of that. The fact is that life isn't like that. Life is not a major. Life is a group project. I know you all love group projects, don't you? Listen, as a student, I hated group projects. I was always that one guy who stayed until 4 in the morning doing everybody else's work. But you know what? Life is a group project. And you have to learn how to deal with that. As much as you may not like some of the things that you do as undergrads, some of the requirements that you have, or the fact that you have to go to a certain event, or you have to read a certain number of pages in the middle of the night, when you look back, it really is worth it. Because what I want to talk to you about, just very briefly, because there's a lot more going on, is not so much where you are now, which is in those first 4 years of your college experience. I want you to start thinking about where you will be, or where you want to be, at the end of these 4 years. Whether you're going to go to medical school or graduate school, or you're going to go into business, or you're going to join the Peace Corps, you need to figure out what the path is to get there. And it doesn't matter whether you just started as a freshman or you're coming in as a junior. There is a path you have to make. There are things you need to do to get there. Now, some of the things that the Honors College can do, besides giving you priority registration, of course, is introducing you to some of the most fantastic faculty members here at the university. And you'll be sitting among some of the best students at this university, and you'll be getting lots of other opportunities that you've probably heard about, perhaps in orientation, that maybe you forgot because you hear so much of orientation. Things that are going to be necessary for your success. Internships, right? How many of you plan to take internships? Okay, how many of you have taken and have been on an internship already? Okay, great. You have opportunities to do study abroad. Honors College has its own study abroad program. So where's Luli? Luli's in the back if you're interested in study abroad, although I think they're all full. She's back there. Oh. I'm glad to hear that, because one of the best experiences that students can have is to leave home and go on out and look at the world. Going back to another idea, I mentioned interdisciplinarity, the idea that that my goal for you is to be polymaths. Okay, and I'll leave that word with you for you to look up on your phone or later on. What we want, as I said before, understanding that life is not major, is that you need to realize that in order to succeed in life, you need to have this. You need to be ready. You need to have a toolkit, a box of intellectual tools and vocational tools, things that you will need in order to succeed. Because if you think about what's going to happen, well, let's pick a particular job. Say you have X job, right? What will that job look like after you've graduated in that major? What will it look like in 10 years, in 20 years? Think back at some of the jobs that existed when I went to college. Those jobs are very different now. To be an accountant now is very different than what it was like to be an accountant when I graduated in 1981. And you can imagine what it will be like later on. And you project that to every single major you have, every single career you have in mind. And if you do not have the right intellectual and vocational tools to be agile, to be able to adapt, to be courageous, to be able to connect the dots, you may find yourself in some trouble. Because if you specialize in one thing and the environment changes, you might become obsolete. You might go extinct. Maybe not you as a person, but certainly you as whatever profession that you chose, because the distance between the first and second, the second and third and fourth industrial revolution keeps on getting a little shorter. But between where we are now, you can call the fourth industrial revolution, and the next one's going to be really short. It might be next week. Things are changing that quickly, that if you only know how to do one thing, and one thing well, the environment changes and you're toast. Honors College students are not going to do that if they take advantage of what it's like to be honors. Because at FIU, you can get the best undergraduate education in the world if you grasp it. If you think learning is a passive experience, you're in trouble. You are going to be toast. But if you understand that learning is an action verb, it's something that you do, something that you are responsible for, then I'm not worried about any of you. I do want you to take advantage of the opportunities that FIU and this community offers you. But Honors College has, you have advantages and opportunities in Honors College you will get nowhere else. You've got companies that come only to us to offer internships. Our students go to special places when they do study abroad only because it's us. You get scholarships and opportunities and fellowships because you're Honors College. And not because you happen to have those scores when you came in, but because you work for it. And as long as you work for it, you'll have that opportunity in front of you. Okay, well, I'm going to just turn it over to Arlene. Are you coming back up? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Arlene Garcia. I just want to say one more thing. I'm a pretty accessible dean. I make it my job to meet every single one of the students here at the Honors College. So if I run into somebody with a t-shirt and I pull you over to have a conversation, please do. And if I'm in the office and you're looking for me, if you bring me a little cafecito, I'll be your friend for as long as that cafecito runs.
That studying abroad in Japan was a life-changing experience for me. While studying in Japan, it gave me a lot of opportunity to reflect on who I am and be a better person. Studying in Japan was not only an opportunity, a huge opportunity to travel, but also to analyze and grow as an individual. This trip actually brought me to the culture of attitudes, values, customs a country has, because Japan is a very different country, and I always wanted to go to Japan, but I never got an opportunity. But thanks to Honors College, because they have so many programs they offer, that they made it possible for me. I would definitely say, if you have a chance to study abroad, you should definitely do it.
Thank you, Dean Espinosa, for your wisdom and vision. And now, welcome Heartbeats for a rendition of Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons.
So Hearts is basically an organization and group of clubs that come together to advocate for the arts. So there's so much happening in the art community within the Honors College. So for example, we have club meetings, we have Hearts events. So there's also movies that we see, like Hearts goes to movies, where we just engage with each other and just as a community come together to appreciate art. My freshman year I took advantage of the discounts that Honors gave me. So there's discounts for the orchestra, there's discounts for movies, and it's absolutely amazing. You should really take advantage of that. So Hearts has really changed my perspective about life, about school, about myself. My advice is to get involved. Get involved with Hearts, get involved with Honors.
Thank you, Harvey, for a wonderful performance. Before we introduce you to our keynote speaker, I would like to acknowledge this year's Dean's Engagement and Dean's Service Award winners. So you can see these up behind me. Each year, we ask our students to fulfill 20 engagement points and 20 volunteer hours. We would like to recognize honor students who have surpassed these numbers several times over. Now it's time to introduce our keynote speaker, Lilian Solorzano. Functions and serves on university-wide committees, senior administration, and oversees continuous improvement plans. An Honors College alumna, Lilian received both her Bachelor's of Business Administration and her Master's of Sports Science from FIU. Lilian has been at the Honors College for almost 11 years, where she has held or supervised every position in student services. It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Lilian Solorzano.
Thank you, Arlene. And first of all, I'd like to say, Hearts, you guys rocked it. And thank you to Dean Espinosa and to Umar for trusting me and inviting me to talk to you and address you all today. If you get a chance to get to know me, you're going to know that I'm a very modest person. I don't usually talk about myself, so I'm going to do my best. My first initial thought was, why would anybody want to hear from me? I don't really have anything important to share. And they told me, well, just share your story. And I said, oh, okay, I guess. But you know, I reflected on it, and I remembered what my brother had told me just a few years ago. We were both students at FIU. We both studied business administration, and he was also in the Honors College with me. And you know, he was my little brother, but he always had more sense than me. And he told me, Lily, you do realize that we beat the odds. We are the American dream. And at first, I wasn't really sure what he meant. And, you know, I thought, well, I'm not famous. I'm not rich. And I don't think my life was that hard. But he reminded me of a time when what I have now seems so far away and so impossible to achieve. So I hope you find a little bit of motivation in hearing my story and you gain some insight from someone who has been exactly in your shoes. It's the story of a little girl who came to the United States in the 80s at a tender age of 3. So you can do the math. Like most immigrant families in the 80s, my parents didn't speak any English, and from what I was told, I learned most of my English from Elmo and the Cookie Monster. My parents held odd jobs while I was growing up. They did catering, landscaping, housekeeping. You can think it up, they probably did it. But they were really hard workers. And I was a pretty good kid. I liked school, but I never really applied myself. My parents weren't really involved. They didn't speak English. They couldn't help me with homework. So, you know, we were pretty much on our own. Fast forward to high school, where that one dream killer guidance counselor told me that I would never qualify for any aid or any scholarships because I was undocumented. And I didn't know what that meant. But I figured it was bad. And so, you know, I talked to my parents and, you know, they told me the story. And basically, I kind of lost all motivation for school. I didn't care too much about getting good grades. I didn't even think I wanted to finish high school. I didn't see the point. But I did graduate, thankfully. And without any money or prospect for money, I just started working right away. And I got a work permit magically that I acquired from the same lawyer who was helping us get asylum. But I still had that thought about college, and I had this issue with college. I was just, it wasn't just that I didn't have the money to pay for it, but I had been in school for 15 years in Miami, and I was still going to be considered an out-of-state student. And for me, that was crazy. Because for those of you that don't know, that's 3 times regular tuition. I see heads nodding. So at first, I was kind of like, well, I'll just keep working, make some money, and I made a little bit of money. But I was angry. And those of you, have you heard about DACA? Yeah? I probably would have qualified. So I worked, and people used to tell me, you need to go back to school, Lily, you need to go back to school, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll make my way back. And it wasn't until my brother graduated from high school, it was 2 years after I graduated, that he told me, Lily, I'm going to college, and you're starting with me. No more excuses. So I said, all right, fine. So we both started Miami-Dade College. We paid out-of-state tuition. It was dreadful. And we both worked full-time to pay for it. Actually, I worked full-time my entire college career. But a little bit more about that later. Luckily, in Miami-Dade, I met an advisor in my first couple of weeks there. Do I have any Miami-Dade College students? Woo! And so she made it a point to help me. And she started, figuring things out. And somehow, magically, she changed my status in the system, and I was on my way. I did surprise myself in Miami-Dade. I got straight A's. I graduated with highest honors. I paid for it the whole time, but it was worth it. And by the end of my first year in Miami-Dade, I had already received my resident alien card, so I was officially legal. I graduated. And after graduation, I was admitted and awarded a full-time tuition transfer scholarship from a very prestigious program at FIU called the Honors College. Woo. Yeah. Woo. So I got the Eduardo Padron Scholarship, and that set the tone for all of the financial decisions I ended up making in school. And thanks to the Honors College, and a little bit of hard work on my part, I was able to complete my degree with 0 debt. And my FIU experience was tough, as I mentioned, because I worked full-time the entire time. And it's something I would not recommend to any of you, even though I know some of you will still do it. And so I want to talk a little bit about my FIU experience. It was incredible. Even as a transfer student, some of my fondest memories were here in the Honors College. I had an Honors College seminar that I have very fond memories of, and I did one study abroad to Jamaica my senior year, and I learned about, among other things, geology, the business of tourism, Bob Marley, third world poverty, bauxite, and Jamaican maroons, as you can see in the picture, who apparently are descendants of African slaves who lived in the mountains of Jamaica. And by the way, none of this had anything to do with my major. But it was amazing, and it was the first time I had actually left the country since 1982. So it was a huge eye-opening experience for me. And by the way, my brother talked me into going to Jamaica too. So now I reflect on this academic journey, and one of the constants was always my brother. And my brother was the guy that would push me beyond my limits. He would push me out of my comfort zone the entire time. And luckily, I was also I would also interact with people at the right time in the right place that would help me. I saw the MDC advisor who helped me in 2001, almost 15 years later, at an advisor conference here at FIU. I reintroduced myself and I told her how much her help during that one appointment we had completely changed my life. I would not be standing here right now if it were not for her thoughtful help. And so ultimately, I think that that experience was what motivated me to go into academic advising. My whole college experience was filled with people pushing me to be better, helping me, even though I never asked for it. Because as a first-generation college student, you usually don't ask for help. One of my proudest moments was sitting next to my brother at commencement, because in the Honors College, we get to sit in the front row. And I remember having my parents up on top looking down at us, and they were so proud. They had brought us to the United States for a better life, and it seemed we were finally on the right path to achieve that. So I learned 3 key lessons through all of this. 1, I learned that you can achieve anything you set your mind to and overcome any obstacles if you work hard and you have the right attitude. Obstacles will make you stronger and more resilient. Learn to appreciate those challenges. When it gets hard, that is when growth happens. I learned that asking for help is not just a good idea, it is necessary for your success. See your advisors often. See your honors advisors often. Keep your support system close. Listen to them, listen to their advice, and appreciate their confidence in you. But then you make your own choices, and you set your own pace. I learned that to be successful, we must make plans, we must set meaningful, measurable goals with deadlines. Make sure to write your goals down, but then give yourself permission to be more than your goals. I ended up discovering different passions outside of my major. I studied finance, but I didn't really go into finance. But I have applied those skills in all of my jobs, mostly this one. I now have a very rewarding career where I get to work with some of the most amazing people. And I have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of our next generation of leaders and innovators, which is you. My brother, by the way, is also a very successful business owner in the pharmaceutical industry. He's making the big bucks. But to me, success is not measured by just your career. I am also a proud mother of 3, bright, sassy, and very strong-willed girls. I don't know where they got that from. And they were never part of my plan. My plan was, in fact, very simple. I wanted to wear a suit to work every day, make a lot of money, and travel the world, but never, ever have kids. So that was a big oops. Plan, but give yourself permission to be more, to have different dimensions of yourself. We are all very complex beings. We are not meant to just take our one major and have it all figured out. Use the Honors College to expand your mind, your relationships, your opportunities, and build on the goals that you set for yourself, with new and exciting experiences that take you out of your comfort zone. And I want to end with this. I was looking over my 6-year-old daughter's homework the other night, and they're learning about rights and responsibilities. It's actually a really tough concept for a 6-year-old. So I wanted to get some clarification too. And so we came up with a couple of things, and I think we did our homework right. So I'm just going to go over some examples. It is my daughter's right to have a pet, but it's her responsibility to take good care of it, right? It's my responsibility to work, and for you to work, but it's our responsibility to do a good job so we can keep our job. It's your responsibility, it's your right to vote, but your responsibility to register and become an informed voter. It is your right to go to college, but your responsibility to learn and graduate with a 4-year degree, at least. It is your right to be in the Honors College, but your responsibility to get the most out of your Honors College experience and be the best version of yourself that you can be. And so allow yourself the opportunity to grow, to set goals, and to receive help and praise. But most of all, stay humble and responsible, because this is your chance to do amazing things. Things that you've planned and things that you haven't even thought about yet. Allow yourself to be great. And like President Rosenberg likes to say, let's continue to turn the impossible into the inevitable. Thank you.
We're on a huge university campus and everybody always has activities and events going on. I'm sure there's a million organizations that have different things every single day, but the good thing about Honors is that they cater everything for us and to give us the full experience of the university within our small college. So an Honors Hour is pretty much a kind of workshop or a seminar where you sit in and listen to, sometimes they bring in professionals, sometimes we have people from the Honors College talking about different things such as study abroad or research, but it's a really good way of being able to learn about the different things going on, whether it's in the community, on campus. I think engagement is very important for an Honors College student or a student in general because it builds your character, it makes you a better human being, and being able to say that you were engaged while you were an undergrad is so crucial as you develop yourself professionally. It helps you grow, and it sets you better off for life.
Thank you, Lily, for your insight. We are extremely honored to have you be part of this convocation and honored to have you as a colleague as well. And now, please welcome Gladys Levy for a solo rendition of I Live by One Republic.
When you take that jump, you'll feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you'll build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love, that hurts so bad. It's the only way you can know, give it all you had. And hope that you don't suffer, take the pain. Hope when your moment comes, you'll say, this world could give. Saw so many places and things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I live. Hope that you spend your days and they all add up. And when the sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I lived it all. I did it all. I own every second that this world could give. Saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived.
So the arts program with the Honors College gave me the opportunity to not only look and explore at research,
but also apply what I've wanted to know and also learn the skills necessary to conduct research in my field and be able to present the research besides not only the department but also to other faculty members of the university. The ARCH program also has the connection with the FIU conference, and I was able to go ahead and explain my research to most of the faculty and other departments in the university. And it gave me the confidence to go ahead and take the skills that I learned here and present my research through my master's program outside at higher level conferences. So I attribute the ARCH program to giving me the skills necessary to understand what research is about and also to have the confidence in doing research and collaborate with others as well to make sure that as a student I become more well-rounded but also contribute to the field.
This year, we're continuing the tradition of awarding the ARCH Research Award to an outstanding leader, innovator, and researcher. The ARCH program is the Honors College's undergraduate research program. It stands for Advanced Research in Creativity and Honors. This year's awardee is an Honors College graduate who majored in biology, George Diaz. George Diaz researched aquaponics in the Biological Sciences Department along with his research mentor Jason Claiborne. His project aimed at studying the effects that fish presence ultimately has on producing successful crop yields. For an entire year, his systems were housed in an organic garden alongside the FIU Nature Preserve. Through continuous maintenance, data collection, and rigorous design, George found that certain plant species fare best given the presence of fish when others were unaffected. His research transcends beyond the field of biology by having impact on the way we grow our foods, which ultimately reaches the dinner table. Mr. Diaz is currently applying to medical schools and plans on working with organizations that provide health care to those who are underrepresented in medicine. His research endeavors, along with the ARCH program, have given him the reliance, work habits, and critical thinking skills that he aspires to one day bring to the medical field. George. Very proud to present the 2017-2018 Dean's Excellence Award to an outstanding student, Luisana Zambrano Diaz. Let's eat her.
I came to the United States when I was 18 years old in 2015. I'm an international student, so my first 2 years of college I did at Miami-Dade College. Over there I didn't have the opportunity to participate in the honors college because it was too late for me to enroll. So the first thing that I did when I was deciding on the school that I wanted to transfer to was looking for the honors college of that school. So when I looked into the honors college of FIU, I saw that they have different opportunities, including scholarships and different programs on research and arts and different things that you can grow as a student. My first year, I enrolled in Global Social Entrepreneurship class. The class itself gave me so many more opportunities. I got the chance to participate in the whole prize, it was a social entrepreneurship competition. So I had the opportunity to learn how I can make an impact through innovation and entrepreneurship, and that opened my mind. So also being exposed to the whole prize in entrepreneurship and social innovation helped me to understand that I can actually achieve social change through this. So I decided to go to the path of international development, and all this was thanks to the class that I took and to the opportunity to participate in the whole class. I'm also deciding to study abroad, so I'm going to Vietnam and Cambodia next summer, and I also enrolled into the ARCH program because one of my things that I said was that I wanted to graduate with a research. So the honors college also gives me the opportunity to do that. There's so many opportunities in the honors college that I have taken, and I'm really good.
Luciana was sitting where you are sitting today as a transfer student who started in the fall of 2017. When she arrived here, she made it her mission to get involved, and involved she did. She was selected not just because of her involvement with Model UN, with the whole competition, the Clinton Global Initiative, the start of FIU, but she came to exemplify that combination of the ideal honors college students with intellect, curiosity, vocation, and dedication. Luciana, you deserve this award. You've earned it. Congratulations. Woo!
College basically allotted me everything. My sophomore year, I transferred into honors, and Isabel Green was the person who basically said, like, hey, here, you can do this, you can kind of, they created a digital media position for me, and I got an internship with the Honors College. I learned so much, I gained so much experience. Eventually, from that internship, I was able to get other opportunities elsewhere. So I was able to intern at External Relations. I was able to get a really cool opportunity in DC, Washington, DC. I am currently a traffic anchor for iHeartMedia. So I report the traffic in English and Spanish for all of Miami's iHeart radio stations. I thank the Honors College for that because they kind of planted the seed and made it happen for me. Without the Honors College, I probably wouldn't be where I am today.
Now we come to the high point of our convocation ceremony, the pinning ceremony. I'm sure you all have your pins. Please rise. This pin signifies your membership in the unique and select community of scholars, the Center of Academic Excellence at Florida International University. When you wear it, you represent the values for which the college stands and the goals for which we all strive. Honors College students, faculty, and staff. And we ask that you wear your Honors College identification with pride and integrity. Repeat after me. I am honors.
I am honors.
You're now pinned. You're now a member of the Honors College community. Don't leave yet. We have one more thing. I expect to see you as I walk around campus, not only wearing your t-shirts, but wearing your pins as well. Doesn't get you any discounts, but it's a wonderful way to you're belonging into a special community here at FIU.
minutes to thank the Honors Convocation Committee, our faculty, our community partners, and contributors. So with that, the 19th convocation of the Honors College has now ended.